Have you ever watched a movie scene and thought to yourself, there's no way that's real? Well, what if I told you that some of those magical, otherworldly places actually exist in real life? From fairy tale castles perched on misty mountaintops to alien landscapes that seem straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster, our planet is home to some truly jaw-dropping destinations that will make you question if they're even real. Today, we're counting down 10 real-life locations that look like they were pulled straight out of the movies. Some of these places have actually inspired iconic films, while others are so surreal, they might just inspire your next adventure. So buckle up, explorers, it's time to dive into a world of cinematic wonders. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end because the #1 location on this list is so stunning, it inspired one of the most beloved fairy tales of all time. We begin our journey in Turkey at a place so surreal it's often called the Cotton Castle. Welcome to Pamukkale, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that looks like it was sculpted by the gods themselves. These brilliant white terraces are made of travertine, a type of limestone formed over thousands of years by mineral-rich hot springs. The water here is not only stunningly blue but also rich in calcium carbonate, which creates this otherworldly snow-like landscape. What's even more fascinating, these pools are naturally warm, with temperatures ranging between 35 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the perfect spot for a relaxing soak. Pamukkale has been attracting visitors for over 2,000 years. In ancient times, it was part of the city of Hierapolis, where the Romans believed these waters had healing properties. They would come here to bathe, heal, and even worship the gods of water and health. Talk about combining history and nature in the most magical way. Standing here feels like you've stepped into a mythical world. The shimmering pools, the crisp white terraces, and the breathtaking sunset views make this place look like something out of an epic fantasy movie. Next up, we're traveling to New Zealand to explore a hidden underground wonder, the Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Imagine floating through a silent, pitch-black cave while thousands of tiny blue lights sparkle above you, creating the illusion of a star-filled galaxy. This is not CGI, it's nature at its finest. These mesmerizing lights are created by the larvae of a unique species of glowworm called Arachnocampa luminosa, found only in New Zealand. Each of these tiny creatures emits bioluminescent light to attract prey, turning the cave's ceiling into a natural light show. It's like stepping into a sci-fi movie set, except it's entirely real. The Waitomo Caves were first explored in 1887 by a local Maori chief named Tan Tinarau and an English surveyor, Fred Mace. Today, they're one of New Zealand's most iconic tourist attractions, drawing thousands of visitors every year to witness this surreal spectacle. The magic of these caves lies in their silence. As you glide through on a small boat, all you hear is the soft dripping of water and the occasional gasp of awe from fellow travelers. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience that feels both humbling and otherworldly. Our next stop takes us to Vietnam, home to one of the most stunning natural wonders in the world, Ha Long Bay. With over 1,600 limestone islands and towering rock pillars rising from emerald green waters, this bay looks like it was painted straight from the pages of a fairy tale. The name Ha Long translates to descending dragon, and according to legend, these islands were created by a giant dragon as it thrashed its tail, carving out the dramatic peaks and valleys you see today. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Ha Long Bay attracts millions of visitors each year who come to witness its otherworldly beauty. But the magic of Ha Long Bay doesn't end with its breathtaking views. Many of these islands hide secret caves, hidden lagoons, and even lush forests that transport you to another realm. One of the most famous caves here is the Sung Sot Cave, known for its dramatic stalagmites and stalactites that feel like a natural cathedral. Watching the sunset here, as golden light dances across the still waters and jagged cliffs, is an unforgettable experience that feels nothing short of cinematic. Next up is a place where history, nature, and legend collide, the Scottish Highlands. This wild and untamed landscape, with its deep valleys, towering mountains, and mysterious lochs, feels like it's been pulled straight from a historical epic. The Highlands have inspired countless iconic films and series, from Braveheart to Outlander, and even served as inspiration for scenes in Game of Thrones. Walking through this breathtaking scenery, it's easy to imagine yourself as part of a legendary battle or an ancient quest. One of the most famous spots in the Highlands is Loch Ness, not only for its stunning beauty but also for the infamous legend of the Loch Ness Monster. This deep dark lake is the largest by volume in the UK, and for centuries people have claimed to spot a mysterious creature lurking in its waters. The Scottish Highlands are more than just a place to visit. They're a journey into the heart of nature, where every view tells a story and every step feels like stepping into a piece of cinematic history. Now we're heading underground to explore one of nature's most magical creations, the Waitomo Glowworm Caves in New Zealand. Picture this. You're floating through a dark, silent cave, and above you thousands of tiny blue lights twinkle like a galaxy of stars. It's hard to believe this isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie, but it's 100% real. These enchanting lights are produced by the larvae of a species of glowworm called Arachnocampa luminosa, which is found only in New Zealand. Each of these tiny creatures emits bioluminescent light to attract insects as prey, creating one of the most surreal natural phenomena on Earth. The effect is breathtaking. The cave ceiling turns into a dazzling cosmic display that feels like you've stepped into another world. The history of the Waitomo Caves is just as fascinating. They were first explored in 1887 by a local Maori chief named Tane Tinarau and an English surveyor, Fred Mace. Today, the caves draw visitors from all over the globe who come to witness this mesmerizing natural light show in person. As you glide silently through the caves on a small boat, the only sounds you hear are the gentle dripping of water and the quiet awe of those around you. It's a humbling and otherworldly experience you'll never forget. Our next stop is something straight out of a medieval fantasy, Mont Saint-Michel, located off the coast of Normandy, France. This incredible island is crowned by a towering Gothic abbey that seems to rise straight out of the sea. Depending on the tides, Mont Saint-Michel can either appear as a mystical island or as part of the mainland, connected by a narrow causeway. This architectural marvel dates back to the 8th century, and over the years it has served as a monastery, a fortress, and even a prison. Today, it's one of France's most iconic landmarks and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walking through its narrow, winding streets feels like stepping back in time. Mont Saint-Michel has a long history of inspiring legends. One of the most famous is the story of how the Archangel Michael appeared to a local bishop in a dream and instructed him to build a sanctuary on this rocky island. The result? A breathtaking structure that looks like something from a fantasy epic. When the tide rolls in and the surrounding waters reflect the abbey, the entire island seems to float like a vision from another world. It's no wonder Mont Saint-Michel has inspired countless artists, writers, and filmmakers throughout history. Now let's journey to a place so surreal, it's been called the world's largest mirror. Welcome to Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia, the largest salt flat on Earth, spanning over 10,000 square kilometers. It's a location that defies logic and leaves visitors completely awestruck. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water transforms this vast expanse of salt into a gigantic reflective surface, creating the illusion of walking on the sky. The horizon disappears, and everything above you is perfectly mirrored below. This phenomenon is so incredible that it's been used as the backdrop for countless photo shoots, commercials, and yes, even movies. The salt flat itself was formed when prehistoric lakes dried up tens of thousands of years ago, leaving behind a crust of salt that's estimated to contain around 10 billion tons of the mineral. But it's not just about the visuals. Salar de Uyuni is also one of the world's largest sources of lithium, a key component in batteries that power everything from smartphones to electric cars. Standing here, surrounded by endless sky and reflections, you can't help but feel like you've been transported to another planet. Salar de Uyuni is more than a natural wonder. It's a place where Earth itself becomes a masterpiece. Our next destination will make you feel like you've stepped into the world of Pandora from the movie Avatar. Welcome to Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in China, a landscape so extraordinary it inspired the floating mountains in James Cameron's blockbuster hit. This park is home to over 3,000 towering sandstone pillars, some reaching heights of more than 200 meters, or 650 feet. These natural wonders were formed over millions of years through erosion and weathering, and they're often shrouded in mist, giving the entire area a mystical, dreamlike quality. It's no surprise that this place is often called the Avatar Mountains. One of the most famous spots here is the Heaven's Gate, or Tianmen Mountain, a massive natural arch carved into the mountainside. To reach it, you'll need to ride a cable car that's nearly 7.5 kilometers or 4.7 miles long, one of the longest cable car rides in the world. Once at the top, you'll be rewarded with jaw-dropping views that seem almost too perfect to be real. Zhangjiajie is not just a feast for the eyes, it's a place that stirs the soul. Walking among these towering pillars, you can't help but feel a sense of wonder and awe, as if you've entered a world untouched by time. Our journey now takes us to the American Southwest, where nature has carved out one of the most otherworldly landscapes on Earth: Antelope Canyon in Arizona. With its smooth, wave-like sandstone walls glowing in shades of red, orange, and gold, this slot canyon feels like stepping into a piece of abstract art, or maybe even another planet. Antelope Canyon is divided into two sections, aptly named Upper Antelope Canyon and Lower Antelope Canyon. The Upper Canyon, also called the Crack, is famous for its wide pathways and shafts of sunlight that pierce through the narrow openings above, creating dramatic light beams that photographers dream of capturing. The Lower Canyon, or the Corkscrew, is narrower but equally breathtaking, with walls that twist and turn like flowing ribbons. The canyon was formed over thousands of years as flash floods eroded the sandstone, creating these smooth, flowing shapes. Interestingly, Antelope Canyon is still prone to flooding during monsoon season, which continues to shape and change its appearance to this day. This natural wonder is sacred to the Navajo people, who see it as a spiritual place filled with beauty and harmony. Standing within its glowing walls, it's easy to understand why. Whether you're there to photograph its beauty or simply take in the silence and serenity, Antelope Canyon is a place that leaves a lasting impression on everyone who visits. Finally, we arrive at a destination so magical, it's been the inspiration for one of the most famous fairy tales of all time, Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria, Germany. If you've ever seen Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle, you'll recognize the resemblance immediately, because this is the real-life version. Built in the late 19th century by King Ludwig II, Neuschwanstein was designed as a private retreat where the king could escape the pressures of ruling. Ludwig was known as the fairy tale king, and his love for mythology and opera is reflected in every detail of this stunning castle, from its soaring towers to its lavish interior decorations. What's fascinating is that Neuschwanstein wasn't built as a fortress or palace of power, it was a place of imagination. The king envisioned it as a homage to the romantic ideals of the Middle Ages, and today it stands as one of the most iconic and visited castles in the world, attracting over 1.4 million visitors annually. Perched high on a hill and surrounded by misty mountains and lush forests, Neuschwanstein looks like it's been plucked straight from a storybook. Visiting this castle feels like stepping into a dream, a place where fairy tales come to life. And there you have it, 10 real-life locations that prove our planet is just as magical as the movies. From surreal salt flats and glowing caves to fairy tale castles and towering mountains, these places remind us that the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. So, which of these incredible destinations has made it onto your travel bucket list? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow adventurers, and hit that subscribe button for more amazing travel content. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our next adventure. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep exploring and keep dreaming. The world is waiting for you.